Here's a short explanation of Othello. Let's start with the basics. The game from G3 is for 2 players, ages 7 and up. The average game time is about 15 to 30 minutes, with the objective of the game being to have the most of your color pieces on the board at the end of the game. The game contains 1 game board and 64 game pieces. To set up, first divide the game pieces in half, 32 pieces for each player, and place them in the holder on the sides of the board. Next, take 2 pieces from each player and place them on the board in the center like this. Players must decide which color they wish to be, either black or white, and who will go first. On a player's turn, they need to place one of their pieces so that piece and one of their other pieces surrounds their opponent's pieces. You can do this either horizontally, vertically, diagonally, or a combination of all 3. The opponent's pieces that get surrounded now get turned over to the opposite side. Now the opponent takes their turn and follows the same way. They must find a place for their piece so that piece and another of its pieces surround the first player's piece. This again can be horizontal, vertical, diagonal, or a combination of all 3. The pieces that have been surrounded would now be flipped over. Play would continue like this throughout the game. If a player does not have a legal move on their turn, then their opponent would take their turn instead, until such a time as the player is able to take their turn. If both players do not have a legal move, the game is over. If one player runs out of pieces and the other player still has pieces, then when the player who has no pieces takes a turn, they would take one of the unused pieces from their opponent and place it on the board as their own piece. If both players use all of their pieces, then the game is over. Once there are no more moves, players then tally the number of pieces on the board that belongs to them. The player who has the most is the winner of the game. The basics of the game is easy to learn, but the strategy on how to become a good player can take a while to master. So, now you know the basics. Let's play.